Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Too Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Too Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. 2 easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. So excited today. Got actor Ian Collins with me. So welcome, Ian.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. I'm a big Snowpiercer fan, so just thrilled to death to have you on.
Yay, I'm a big Snowpiercer fan too. So
I'll tell you, this has nothing to do with our interview, but I posted an interview a couple days ago, and I got a comment on the interview, and it said, "Could you not start the interview smiling, because it seems like we're missing out on a joke."
oh, well, you
I
guys
was like,
don't know all the jokes that happen before we start
"That's
recording.
right." I was like, "Hey, it's not my fault you weren't here before."
Got to get in that room.
I was like, "So I guess I'm supposed to come on."
Very
Welcome
serious.
to Two Opinions.
Very serious.
So let's start here. Tell me a little bit about what got you into acting. Obviously, it's a difficult profession. Why'd you
Yeah.
decide to go into that?
Yeah. For me, I've been doing it for quite a while now. I always loved the question. I've been answering it a lot this week, but I started in commercials is the
Yeah.
easy answer. My parents didn't want me to really 100% go into acting. They wanted me to have another
Well, you
backup
got to have
job.
a fallback.
Yeah, I have a fallback. So I'm also I went to school to be a chef. I did all my
Really?
training. I'm red sealed, and then when I felt ready, I started like auditioning again, and that's when I started booking it. It's kind of just all come together really nicely. Doing commercials kind of landed me into the Hallmark world,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's really where I kind of like got back into the industry, was through there. Um, and here I am today. It feels like 40 years, but it's only been about 12, I guess.
That's not a short amount of time. That's a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's there.
Did
Yeah.
you do theater through high school?
I did. Yeah, I did theater. I did formal training after becoming a chef. And that's really where my passion all like started back up again. It never left. I'm still just that like nerd who nerds out on television shows and sci-fi and horror films. That's where my passion really comes from, is being a fan first.
I mean,
So
have you sent your resume to the Bear? I mean, you're like
no,
actor,
really,
chef.
really, yeah, really. Uh, we're in talks. We're in talks. We are in
I mean, I
talks.
think that they just need to know, hey, he's already a chef. You don't have to teach him anything.
Yeah, it's time for my Academy Award. Like, give me. Let's get that going.
Part of the reason that I like you so much as an actor is because you show up on like all of the nerdy shows.
I that's really purposeful. I fight really hard. I'm what you call like a big auditioner. I audition a lot. And when I want to get on a show, I go full force. I'm like, give me
I
every
love
character.
that.
I'll do everything. So I've been fortunate as well. Like my first TV show back was Supernatural,
Yeah.
and
Not a
that
bad
was
one to come back on.
totally not a bad one. and like super baby actor, and like I was just like fanboying the whole time. And then to get on Arrow right after that, it's been awesome. It's really has been like sci-fi and horror are where I fan for sure.
Well, and I know when I had I had a car wreck. It's been about 10 years ago now, but it took me a couple years to get back kind of into where I could work out. And I started running again but just on treadmill. And I needed a show to watch. So the show I started watching when I started running was the 100. So yeah. So I loved you on there. I know you made an appearance on there, but I always loved the that theme song was great for running because it just like, pumped you up.
Yeah, it gets you there, right?
When I saw like Colony, you were on there. I thought that was an underrated sci-fi show.
It was a very underrated sci-fi. I got on the last season, and that was after auditioning for every character. I was just like, I'll take anything. And I got, because I was such a huge Walking Dead fan, and I still am. And that I just wanted to work with her. I was like, I'll do anything. And she was directing the episode. So I was like, yes,
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Well, so I always, we go around to the family, and I'll be like, where have you seen this person from? So my son, Arrow, is the one he picked first off. But both of my daughters, it was all the Christmas stuff. That's what they seen. Yeah. And they had a few there. I was like, okay, I'll take your word for it. Yeah. If you've been in a Christmas movie, I guarantee they've seen it.
Oh yeah. And when I'm in the States, that's all I get recognized for. I'll be walking down the street. I was in Vegas recently, and like these three ladies came up to me, and they're like, "Hey, are you Ian?" And I thought I was like, "Oh, they think I stole something, maybe." Like, they're trying to get me to check
you by name though.
I was like, I don't know, maybe I don't know what was happening. I was like, I was like, yes. And they're like, "Oh, we loved you in Baking Me Crazy. You're our favorite Hallmark guy." And I was like, "Oh, that's so nice." I'm like, I don't expect that. Like, oh yeah, that. But yeah, I love doing those MOWs. That's a part of me too, that I love doing, because it's such a different part, especially after the pandemic. It was something that I felt a lot of people needed, was that kind of like easy breezy.
We needed some good, like feel good stories.
Yeah.
That was 2020, not the best year.
No, not for a lot of people. Go down in history, I think.
The only thing is, we're probably never going to be in a situation where we have to stay home again, hopefully.
Yeah.
Most of us did not use that time wisely.
No.
Like I look back and I'm like, maybe I could have done something besides binge watching stuff.
Yeah, I think we were all so scared too. That's what I adjusted to, is like, I was scared. But I think if I could go back in time, that would be great. But all I did was binge watch and eat.
Yeah, same. It's like, I think we all tried to, do the workout at home. We hung in there for a couple of weeks, but then when it went on, we're like, I guess we're just getting fat.
I guess I'll have truffle fries again.
That's right. And don't get me wrong, it was good for a little while.
Oh yeah.
But it got old after a while.
Oh yeah. It got old quick. But I did learn that I like to go to bed by 10 o'clock. I definitely stay awake a little earlier. Now I'm like, it's bedtime.
It's time to go.
It's bed.
So you're Tristan on Snowpiercer. Is this the last season?
This is the last season. And I really, it's been 2 years since we filmed this season. It's been a few ups and downs for sure, but I'm so ecstatic that we are finally airing this season. We all knew this was going to be the last season. So it is a fan season. This is where we get to like really close out all the stories.
Well, that was going to be my question, because there's a lot of dangling threads.
Yeah, I mean, Snowpiercer is not just a sci-fi show, it's a character show.
Yes.
So it's, the reason why people watch is really for all those character and all that character building. And we really get to close this off, which is rare as an actor, to be able to close off something, because rarely that it's going to be your last season. So it's such a beautiful fan ending. It really is. It's where it needed to go. It's where it needed to end. And I'm so happy it's on AMC. It seems like a fitting home for it, being a Walking Dead fan.
Oh,
So
they do some good sci-fi
oh,
fantasy stuff for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, it just feels right there. So it's such a good season. I'm excited for everybody to get to that middle bit. Season 5 and 6 is really where things start taking off. So it's I'm excited for this one. I'm excited.
So are we learning anything new about Tristan? Is his storylines going to wrap up at the end?
Yeah. So episode two's out. Episode 2 came out on Sunday on
Yeah.
AMC, and we got to really see Tristan there. So he kind of picks up where we left him off, which is he took over the hospitality. He's the head of hospitality right now. And Tristan's big dilemmas this season are really figuring out what he wants to do versus what is necessary or what is morally right. And just like all the other characters on this season, he's really diving into the complexities of leadership and under pressure. And he's grown so much since season 1, not being able to do anything but be Ruth's shadow. So it's really interesting. I think the fans are really going to love Tristan this year. He really becomes a hero. He really does.
It's fun seeing the progression from when you
Yeah.
first came on the show to now. That's been a good story arc.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Of course, like as an actor, a lot of things go on the cutting room floor,
Yeah.
but I think Tristan he comes across. I get a lot of, I get reached out by fans a lot, which is really nice
Yeah.
to hear and see, because as an actor, you're like, oh, I wish they kept that scene in there. I wish they did that. So it's good to see that it still comes across that he has this growth, which is really nice. But this season, you really see Tristan come into his own, which is really amazing. So I'm excited for it to finally be coming out. Yeah.
Have you got to keep any of the costumes? Because the costumes are great.
Yeah, I got to keep the glasses. I kept the glasses. I kept a pin. Tristan's old uniform just sold right now. I just got a Twitter
That's
ding
hilarious.
a couple months ago. I was like, oh no. Uh, 4 years in the same outfit. Didn't get to keep that, but it's gone. Yeah. But the glasses I kept.
The glasses, that's a good one because that should last
Yeah.
a while. You should be able to just keep those.
Yeah. And the biggest thing I got was at the end of the season, I got everybody to sign a book, which
Oh, it's
like
good.
a graphic novel, which was great.
See,
So
you thought ahead a little bit.
a little bit,
You
a
know,
little
like that tells me that you're also a sci-fi fan.
huge fan. That's where it comes from. I'm not one of those actors that's like, oh, I do it for the audience. I'm like, I do it for the little kid in me that's like watching, Power Rangers in the morning. That's why I'm doing it.
They haven't asked you to be a Power Ranger yet?
No, it's insulting, right? Every interview I've done, I've mentioned Power Rangers, and still not once.
It would amuse me to see you in a Power Ranger outfit as like their cook.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's morphin time. It's about time.
Yeah, you're in there cooking and stuff, and they're like, "It's morphin time." And you're like, "Daggone it, trying to make dinner."
It only makes sense, Get me on that
if
show.
you were trapped on a train, this end of the world scenario where you're living on a train, what profession would you have?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think I would be as
Would you be a cook? Would that be what you would be?
I don't even think I would do that. I think I would. I think I would go into part of my language, prison mode. I know how to make wine. I know how to make alcohol. So I think that's where I would stem. How do I survive? And people like to drink.
I was gonna say, yeah, that actually would. You'd probably do pretty well.
I think so. Like just
if you were stuck on a train nonstop, you would need some alcohol.
You would need it.
Yeah,
people would need it. So if I'm making it, I'm getting something in return.
Were you a fan of the movie?
I was a huge fan of the movie. I still remember when we started auditioning for this show, which seems like a long time ago, but it was like at the end of 2017. And it
Yeah,
was a
that
different
it doesn't
show.
seem like it's been that long, but yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And it was a different show back then. It was a different network. It was a different showrunner. It was a completely different thing. And I remember how excited I
Did
was.
it start on USA? Is that right?
Yeah, it was a completely different, very different show.
Had a
And then
different vibe for sure.
and a different vibe. That first episode that nobody's ever gonna see, that never came out. Um, None of the characters were the characters that they are now. Like a lot of the actors weren't doing the same part.
Yeah, I kind of like to see that one just to
Yeah,
compare.
to see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away. I know a few of it, but but it was a different thing. And then when TNT took it over and we started auditioning again, um, Tristan was the standout for me. I really enjoyed auditioning for him. And then we went to Pitcher 2018, which seems I don't even remember that. I was going over
No.
my notes being like, when did I audition for this? 2018,
Yeah.
this version of it. So I was a huge fan of the show, and I remember being so excited going in to audition. Um,
Were you
and
live at that point? Were you still auditioning live?
yeah,
Yeah.
before like, oh, so you know all the changes that have happened. You
Oh
talk to
yeah.
enough actors. Yeah, we don't really do in
No,
room
it
auditions
kind of ended the
anymore.
live audition.
Yeah. Yeah, it ended that. And even sometimes I talk to new actors. I go into classrooms and stuff and talk to these new actors.
Yeah.
They will never experience that. They will never know like what it is to like be in a waiting room with 30 people that kind of look like
Right.
you and you're all here for the same part and you're like
Yeah,
sweating.
I'd be a terrible actor, but I'd like to experience that part of it one time. Not even the actual audition, just going into the room, seeing all these people that look like you.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's the picture I would like to have.
You say it until it happens and then you
Yeah, I
walk
know. I know. And then you're like,
in.
oh. I mean, at least live, you can get some direction. Like if you're sitting in a tape, if they don't like the first, whatever they look at, they just move on. But if you're in the room, at least they might say, "Well, try it this way." You have,
Absolutely.
a little.
Yeah.
But now with the tape, you're in control, so you can kind of do it until you're satisfied with it. So, what's
Absolutely,
your
which
preference?
I try to avoid. I still try to take the in-room mentality, which is I only give myself about 3 takes for each audition. I think if they like me, they're gonna call me in again. And that we still do in person for like chemistry reads and
Right.
callback. So it's if it is important, they'll call you back in. So I don't miss it. I don't. I honestly don't miss going into that
It was stressful.
the stressful energy. I like kind of doing it on my own in my own time. And a lot of actors feel the same and a lot of actors feel different. It's like 50-50 split.
I, I, I think I would like sending in the tape, but only because I'm so sensitive that I'd struggle with any type of negative feedback. You wouldn't get any feedback if you didn't get the role. You just not hear from
You don't know that. Sometimes it's like when we were in the room, you'd get reworked, and you wouldn't get the job. And you'd be
them.
like,
Yeah, right. I know
it
that would
becomes
probably make me feel worse because you're like, they kept changing it and I still didn't get it.
still didn't get it. And you have kids. So it's really hard to be in one place at one moment for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's changed a lot. I like the way the industry is moving in that sense. I enjoy doing the self-tape because it was stressful having to be one place for a long period of time, just praying you'd get in or
Does it
out.
hurt you networking wise, not being in a room?
So like now when we're doing like callbacks, sometimes they still will call you in the room. So it does hurt you sometimes. I've been called down to LA a few times to come do like a network read,
Right.
which is like a chemistry read. Um, so they still happen. Those still happen. Those will, I think,
Did those hurt worse when you don't get them?
yes,
Yeah.
because you know it's usually between you and two other people,
Right.
or you and one other person. So it's those ones hurt probably the most because it's down to like minuscule things. Like he's too tall, or his skin didn't
Yeah, at
flicker the
that
way
point it's
the
just
others
it's
did.
it's
It
just a
doesn't,
matter of opinion.
yeah, it's not who's the best actor. It's
Yeah, it's just who that person thinks is
yeah,
right for the role.
yeah. It's
I've got a good friend. I'll tell you her sad story. So she was an actress back in the 90s, and she was kind of going through that type of system. They had got to the point where it was the chemistry read. It was between her and one other actress, and they had them both come in and sign the contracts. So then whoever got the role, they're under contract basically.
yeah.
Well, so she didn't get the role. It went to the other actress. Well, the role was Rachel on Friends.
Oh no.
I mean, of course, you see that and you're like, Jennifer Aniston is Rachel. I mean, you can't see
Yeah.
her as anybody else. But from my friend's standpoint, she's like Jennifer Aniston.
Forever hated.
Because that one would be a tough one
That would
to
be
get
a
over.
tough one. I mean, I've heard some of those documentaries I've watched about Friends. It doesn't seem like it was that easy of a booking. It seemed like it was
No, I think it was pretty arduous. Yeah,
thing.
they really
Yeah,
put them through it,
yeah.
which you would kind of want because look what you got. They did a
I
good
mean, what were they
job.
making? 1.2 million an episode on their last
Yeah,
season or something like that?
something crazy. That was Yeah. I miss the sitcom. We don't have nearly the sitcoms that we used to.
Have sitcoms anymore. That's true. I think we're out of that because we don't do 20 episodes anymore.
No.
Shows just don't do them. Kids shows like Nickelodeon and Disney, they do like 20 episodics, but we just don't get those 22 episodes anymore. It's
13
down.
at the most, usually.
uh,
Yeah. Most of the
I
time it's
mean,
like 8 or 10.
average. It's 8 is the one that's really annoying me lately. Like Boys just ended, and that was
I know,
8.
don't you want just a couple extra episodes?
2 more episodes. Just 2 more episodes.
I was my favorite book series is Wheel of Time. And
Okay.
I was so excited about the Amazon show coming out, but that's the problem I have with it. They're trying to fit like 2 books a season into 8 episodes. It's moving so fast. I'm like, couldn't you just 10, 13, something, just spread it out a little bit?
It's a great series. It's a great book series. And I think they're doing an
Oh,
okay
they're
job.
doing good. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I mean, it's different, because they're
Yeah.
moving so fast, but it's pretty well done. But
Yeah.
that's kind of my thing is like, let's kind of Game of Thrones, that final season that everybody was kind of disappointed in. Well, would we have been disappointed if it was 10
20 episodes
episodes,
or 20.
or
Like
20?
once there's enough content for 20, especially with Wheel of Time. I'm a big fan of Wheel of Time too. There could be a whole season of just doing those flashbacks to give those elders character and like
Yeah,
depth, and so
just
it's
flesh it out a little bit.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
make some calls. I think we can get you on Wheel of Time.
I think that film's in the UK. Maybe they'll
Well,
fly
there you
me in.
go.
I don't know. We'll
I
see.
mean, Snowpiercer's wrapping up. It's time to
Yeah.
find your next
For my
sci-fi
next
fantasy
series,
vehicle.
yeah, I do need a new sci-fi. That's true. Yeah.
So, did I read that you also sing?
Yeah. Yeah. So when I did my formal training, it was mostly in for music and theater. Um, so I started singing at a really young age. And yeah, I sing, yeah.
I mean, do you do that just in context with acting, or do you actually,
I
like
used to
release music?
actually perform and sing, and it's been a while now. I'm a little rusty, but it used to be a huge passion of mine. So
Yeah,
I used to do singing at bars. I would sing at hotels and such, and
nice.
uh, but then the acting kind of picked up, and nobody will hire me as a singer.
So
So
when they do Snowpiercer the musical, you're ready.
do you know how much I asked for it? That there was a dream sequence I remember a couple last season, and Tristan didn't make it, and it was like, wouldn't it be so fun though if we did like a singing episode?
Yes.
to like our showrunner, and he was like, you know what, maybe season 5, and we didn't get season 5. So,
Yeah, because as fans, we always love those episodes.
yeah, I love those episodes. I really do, and especially with people like David, it's like, why wouldn't we want
Yeah,
a
why
music
wouldn't you?
episode? Why wouldn't we want one?
Now I'm like really sad that we didn't get one.
That
Now we've talked about it, and I'm like, yeah, that would have been really good.
would be the thing that will haunt it. We had so much musical talent on that Lena Hall. I mean,
Oh yeah,
beautiful,
oh,
beautiful
gosh.
voice. So it's
Yeah, her
it's
voice is
insane.
great. You're right.
Yeah, that we didn't get one. It's crazy we didn't get one.
Hmm. I've got a checklist now. So I got let's see, The
Let's get the
Bear.
plan.
Got to
Just
work
one
on
more
that.
episode.
That's it. Wheel of Time musical. Snowpiercer. I'll start the
Yeah,
what is it, the petition. That's how
let's do
everybody's got the
it.
petitions now to keep things going.
Wheel of Time would be amazing. I would actually, I've never even thought that I would contemplate to be on it, but Wheel of Time would be fun. I could see myself on Bear. Wheel of Time would be,
That's the one.
that'd be the one.
Did you read all the books?
I read all the books. I I enjoy the lore of it
Yeah.
because it's
Same.
so large. So it would
I'm
be fun.
hoping they get through Lord of Chaos. That was kind of,
Yeah, I don't
the
know where
the
they're gonna
battle
go.
there at the end of book 6. That's one
Yeah,
of them. If it,
I don't know if they're
if it
gonna
ends
get to
after
that.
that, fine.
Oh, if it ends after that, I
Yeah.
think we're gonna do 2 more seasons, is what I've heard from the
Well, they should get there then.
underground.
The way at the rate
Yeah,
they're going, because that would be a pretty. Although the last season they'll try to fast forward it and try to
oh, yeah,
give you a wrap up, but
yeah.
that's always the
Yeah.
like that's always what gets shows. They go along, they're doing so well, and then that last season they know it's the end, so they rush. And
Yeah, what was that start? It's like, remember when you used to get everything? You used to get full 8 seasons of something, and now you're lucky to get 2, 3, 4.
if you get to 4, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And you think about 4, is it most of the time it's just a little bit more episodes than you used to get in one season.
One season. Yeah. 40 episodes in comparison to what you'd get in 22 for one
Yeah, or
season.
2 seasons, I guess.
Oh.
Because that I watch. I've been going through a binge watching of old comedies. So I watched Cheers and Frasier, getting ready for the new
Oh,
Frasier.
yeah.
I just finished MASH, and they were all running 22, 24, 26 episodes sometimes a season. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
And now you can binge watch an entire show, and it's like 40 episodes, 50 episodes.
Yeah. That's why binge watching was created, because you can watch 10 hours of something.
I prefer the week at a time, because I like just dissecting the heck out of an episode, and then you build up anticipation for the new one. Or you binge watch, it's great while you're watching it, but it's over so fast.
Or even just watching it again before the next episode comes out. So I'm a fan of watching episode by episode. But I have been known to binge just a little.
Same. What was your show like during the 2020 when you were stuck at home? Was there a show you found that you watched?
Gosh, what was it? I went back to like the Food Network. I was watching a lot of like reality competition shows. That was like the thing that got me through it, to be honest with you.
Those shows, they're like terrible and wonderful at the same time.
They're so bad but so good.
Right.
The Jimmy, oh God, what is his name? The guy with the hair, the Romney colored hair.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes, I know you're talking about. Yes.
His shopping one. That was the one that like really, really pushed me through. I was like, I want to do that. Not Bobby Flay. No, Bobby Flay's another guy, but it was a lot of cooking stuff.
Yeah, there was so many of them out, and those were great ones we watched a lot of those, especially the competition ones. Yeah, because they were just, it was fun to watch, and we were all desperate for material. I will say, that is when I finally watched Schitt's Creek, which was, that was a great binge.
Okay, yeah. Schitt's Creek was it's a Canadian classic now for Canadians, so we're so proud of that show.
That's
Such a
amazing.
good show.
That was one they could have went on. I'd have been happy with 4 seasons.
They could have, to be honest with you, I think they did the right call though. A
Yeah.
lot of their casts were really turning into celebrities at that point, so it just made sense to kind of end it. It could have
Yeah,
went
I
on.
think it would have got problematic if they tried to
Yeah,
keep going. I wouldn't be surprised if they came back and did, a
a movie.
remake or a continuation
Yeah,
special, something. That wouldn't surprise me. But
I
they
could see
probably
them with the movie.
it's rare when shows go out before they have to go out.
Yeah, that was a good one. They still had a lot of viewership. It was a good show. I
Kim's
missed
Convenience was another one from Canada that I fell
Yeah,
in love with. That was a great show.
I had a lot of friends on that show. I liked it. I liked that show. That was a
It
fun show.
surprised me how much I love that show. Like I
Yeah.
watched the first one, I was like, kind of like I did with Schitt's Creek. Like I was like, these people are terrible. But then by the end of the second one, I was like, I love these people so much. Because
Why
once
does
you
it have
kind of
to
get to
end?
know their character,
Oh
then
yeah,
you're invested.
yeah. It's also made stars, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest Marvel stars right now. So it's
I know it's kind of crazy when you go back and see like he started in the comedy realm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
started late.
What do you think of his Marvel movies? Pretty good.
I loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought it's what Marvel needed, to be honest with you. I think it was a really good film. I think he fits the character perfectly.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
and I think it's perfect for him. I think it's really
I
good.
grew up reading those comics and I thought he did a great job portraying
Oh
him.
yeah.
It's terrific. What'd you think of the news we got this week? Robert Downey playing Doctor Doom.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I'm with you. I didn't care for. I mean, listen. I think he'll do a great job.
Of
He's a
course he
great actor,
will. He gets
but
paid millions and
I
millions
don't
of
like
dollars
it.
to do a
I
good
don't like
job. I
it. And
hate it.
and there is some multiverse comic issues where he's
Yeah, I know the
but
one where like Victor Von Doom takes over his
yeah,
body and trades places with him. I'm assuming that's where they're gonna go.
I'm guessing, but I'm
Um,
not. I'm saying I'm not a fan.
I don't know if I want to go that route. I'm kind of just done with the variant thing. I think
Yeah, it's too the problem I have it eliminates the impact of getting rid of a character.
yeah.
Because that should be like
Gonna happen.
gut wrenching, but it's not because you know what? We'll just get another version of that character.
We knew it was going to happen. We knew that they needed to get all those actors. Their contracts were ending. So we knew this was a possibility, 5 years ago, that eventually Marvel will be like, oh, we got to bring them back somehow.
Yeah.
So it's the variant thing is just too much now. I'm just like, I can't do this. Same with I'm hearing that like Fantastic Four is going to be in a variant world and somehow make it into the cinematic universe. And I'm like, I just I don't
I know it's frustrating.
the variant
I was
thing.
just like, why not just have them at an earlier time, kind of like they did Captain Marvel? Just
Yeah.
have them in an earlier timeline of the same universe.
Yeah. It just makes sense to me that doing that somehow. But I am not excited about that because Victor Von Doom is such an amazing character. I just don't. Yeah,
They haven't done him right yet, though.
not yet. Not yet. They haven't done. Yeah, they not yet. But I think I wasn't excited. I was watching the Comic-Con reveals and I went,
Yeah, same. I did. I was like, oh yeah, I don't know about that. Did you go see Deadpool?
yes, I
What'd
loved
you
it. It
think?
was great. It was great. It was what I expect from those movies. It was exactly what I thought was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Very exciting, very funny, very everything that Deadpool is in the cinematic universe. Ryan does a good job.
Yeah,
It
he's
was
pretty
good.
great. It's I remember when he was doing National Lampoon movies,
Yeah.
and I like just to see the progression. He's really become just a hell of an actor.
He's a star.
Yeah.
Star. When I hear stories that he used to like date um uh the people he used to date in his past, I'm like, oh right. He's a lot older than I am.
Yeah. He's been doing this for a while.
I've been doing this a long time.
Is there a genre that you haven't got to do that you would like to do?
Yeah. I I really, really want to do more horror. I've only ever done one horror movie that only took off in the Philippines. It didn't do well anywhere else. Uh, but it did really well in the Philippines. And I love the Filipino fans, but it didn't do as well as I was hoping it was gonna do. But I'd love to do more horror. I love horror. That's a genre I don't get to do much of because I have the good guy
Right.
architect. So it's very rare that
See, that's
you
why
get
if I
to
was
do
doing
more.
horror, I would cast you as the bad guy.
Yeah,
Nobody expect that.
nobody sees it. Nobody sees it coming. Not with this smile, you know. They couldn't see it. Uh, but no, I would love to do more horror. Um, I I still haven't been a hero superhero yet, so that would be fun too.
There's a
Um,
few of those out there to choose from, so let's
yeah, yeah, I
stick
got
you
a
in there.
lot to choose from, so hopefully Marvel comes a knocking.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I
We have
can
enough
see it.
Canadians now, so
We
it's
got to get you in one of those. I mean, they
yeah,
do so much. Odds are, at some point, you're going to be in
yeah,
something.
one or the other. It will eventually happen.
Any desire to step behind the camera at some point?
Yeah, I would love to direct. I love that process of like the full picture. I think that sometimes affects me, especially on we just wrapped on Up TV special that's going to
Yeah.
be a backdoor pilot. So hopefully we get to go to series with this one called Return to Sender. And it's totally in my alleyway of like what I like to do, what I'm good at. And I think too much about the full picture when I see the script. So I would love to direct. I love directing. I love talking to actors. I love seeing the whole picture in my brain.
I think
So
you'd be good at that. Yeah.
yeah, thanks.
You
Yeah.
got to get on a like a long running show, and then
Yeah.
they'll just ask you to direct an episode.
Yeah. In my option, I'll just be like season 3
Yeah.
needs an option
I
for
think a lot of actors that's how they get their
until they
directing
start.
started.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I'd be great at it. I would really enjoy it. So hopefully, if we go to Pitcher Up TV, we'll get a little director credit.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. What is Return to Sender? Is that what is that? What's the genre for that?
Yeah, so this is like a uplifting, heartfelt story mystery. Um,
Mystery.
yeah, kind of finding like bringing two people back into love. It picks up with like a group of people who work on a podcast and
Oh,
find this letter, and we have to find these two people and bring them back together. So it's that's the first episode anyway.
see, there's maybe that's the one I need to break into acting on. Be
Yeah,
a soft landing. So, like,
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. You're already doing it.
You would think that would give me a leg up. It wouldn't. It'd probably be worse. Like me trying to play myself, I'd be the worst.
Yeah, I don't play myself. I
I'd
can't.
get in my head. I couldn't do it.
I'd be like, "Is that Ian?" And then you get home and you're like, "Is that Ian?"
Yeah. So I wanted. I know we got to wrap up, but I wanted to ask you about. You did an episode of Louder Milk.
Yeah,
So
it's the one that's
Netflix
really
has
popping
been
off now.
pushing
Yeah,
that one to me. Is Louder Milk? Louder Milk. Is that a show that I should be watching?
it's a funny show. I actually booked that show. I didn't audition for that part. Um, I booked that show because I worked with the directors on another show called Hit the Road.
Yeah.
With Jason Alexander was the lead on that, and it was a lot of like riffing and funny stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I do dry funny really well.
You do. Yeah.
They just offered me the role. They were like, "We need somebody to come in." I came in. I don't fully remember what I did, so I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. But I think I had to kick somebody out for doing the lead was doing something inappropriate. Um, and it was a lot of fun. I've worked with that team before, so it was nice to just
Yeah.
get offered a role instead of auditioning, which
Yeah,
was
that's
really
pretty
nice.
sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those. cake moments.
That's
Like,
right.
I'm gonna
That's
have my
right.
cake
Well, I
too.
keep seeing it, and I'm like, that show looks pretty good, but I haven't taken the plunge yet. So I was like, well, I'll just ask him.
Yeah, you should.
See what he
It's
thinks.
really fun. I wouldn't be surprised if they Netflix didn't get them another season.
Yeah, I kind of the way they've been pushing it, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Um, Great team on there. It's funny. It was a really funny
Yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah. I've heard good things. I was just like, oh, I think that may because I'm like everybody else. I'm constantly looking for something new to watch.
Oh yeah.
You know, which that is one thing with the smaller seasons. You can watch a lot more.
Well, that's the horrible part of it. You're like, and now what do I do? Like Game of Thrones is ending. I'm like, now what? Now what's
Yeah, now
on?
what?
Now what do I watch? What do I do?
House of Dragons been pretty good.
Yeah, House of Dragons has been okay. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna do more seasons though, but
Yeah, well, yeah, and I've read that the book that he's basing that series on,
yeah,
and I'm still not sure how they're gonna
it's
get.
moving
I'm sure they
fast.
will because it's
It's
so
moving
big.
fast. It's moving fast. I don't
It's
know
moving
how
really fast.
they're gonna pull out more time now.
I did kind of like that they're doing some flashbacks so they can get some of those actors from earlier in the
Yeah,
life.
that's kind of nice. Yeah, she's gonna be
Kind of nice.
Supergirl, which is insane.
Yeah,
The new Supergirl on the new DC fandom.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big comic book guy. I owned a couple of stores back in the '90s,
Oh,
so
nice.
anything with that stuff, I love it. Love to
Yeah,
love to see
I'm a
it.
huge comic book nerd as well.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a big-
DC needed to reboot. I'm anxious to see what they come up with the new
I'm
stuff.
anxious and nervous for them. I don't know if it's gonna.
I don't either. I'm
I think they should have
hopeful.
stuck with the Wonder Woman gal that was working and kind of just revamp that and kind of stick around
I'm
that.
surprised they didn't keep a few of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it. The overall concept didn't really work.
wasn't working.
Some
Yeah.
of the actors, her especially, I mean, she's Wonder Woman.
I honestly don't see anybody else playing
No.
Wonder Woman. So maybe they'll avoid it for a little bit. But some of the behind the scenes stuff that I've seen, I'm like,
I
uh-oh.
know.
I'm already a
I've been
little bit.
waiting for Nathan Fillion to get a role, and then you're seeing him as Guy Gardner, and I'm like,
You're seeing it and you're seeing it. I'm like, I don't know.
although Guy Gardner didn't look good in the comics, so
No, he never has. He never has. But seeing him with that with the bowl cut, I was like,
yeah, it's pretty
were we
rough.
wrong? Were we wrong? I
I
don't
keep
know.
telling myself it'll look better when they finish with it.
Yeah.
I hope.
Maybe. Because a lot of those are like fan casting. Like he's a fan cast. He's been getting told that he should play that for the last 14,
Right?
15.
We always said, my son and I always said he should have been Booster Gold.
He could have been a great Booster Gold. Great Booster Gold. I think he'll play it well. That's what he does. But I think oof,
I know. I'm like,
I'm a little worried.
same. Well,
Like
Ian, thank you for taking a
oh,
little
it's
bit
such
of
a
time. It's
pleasure.
been terrific. I think you're such a good actor, and I love the fact that you're always showing up in the stuff I like.
Awesome.
So yeah, I can't wait to see what you got coming up next, which brings me to the next question: is anything that you're working on that we can keep an eye out for?
Yeah, I just wrapped out a few things this year. You'll see me briefly in a show called Animal Control, which is like
I love Animal Control.
yeah, you'll see me in that new season. Family Law, I just wrapped on as well. So I got
Family Law is like the Canadian Law and Order.
absolutely. Yes. And it's a fun show. More people need to watch that show. It's actually really, really fun. I
Well,
had the
you
best
can,
time.
for a while we couldn't watch it in the States, but we can watch
Yeah.
it now.
Now it's on CW. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
a
a
good
great, it's honestly some of the funnest times I've had on set was working those couple episodes. And then my backdoor pilot movie, which is going to be called Return to Sender on Up TV this year around October. So much fun, uplifting.
If that one gets picked up, you got to come back and talk to us about it.
I would love to. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. I have a really good feeling about it. It's going to be about people watching it, and it's about like four young people trying to solve mysteries. So, I mean, I think it has its genre and its realm, and I think people are
We
honestly
love
going to love the
mysteries.
characters. Yeah. Who doesn't love a mystery?
Well, and the best mysteries are when you have got a group solving them.
Oh, yeah. It
Yeah.
needs to be an ensemble cast.
Yeah,
Has to be.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you could just get a talking dog.
Ooh, you know, that is a great idea. Kind of throw something in there, like, where's this alien from? Or that would be awesome. Yeah.
Which, by the way, you would be great on Resident Alien if you haven't checked that.
No, I was so close to being on Resident Alien, but my schedule didn't work out.
Oh, yeah,
This
you'd be good on
close.
that.
This close. I actually really, really wanted to be on the show, but at the time I was filming a pilot in Toronto and I couldn't get on those the days that they needed me to, so it was just gonna be impossible. But I love that show. So
Oh,
much
so
fun.
good.
So fun. So who knows?
Who
Maybe
knows?
that lasts. Maybe they'll
So
call me in for something.
where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on everything under Ian Collins. You just have to type that in. But if you really want to look for me, you can type in fresh_Collins, which was my original handle from when I was 17 years old. It's still the one. So
That seems like that had more to do with the music.
yes, it definitely had more to do with the music, and it was different when Instagram
That's
started.
right. It was.
You actually had to like find people. I wasn't verified, so you couldn't find me under a name. But yeah, you can find me under everything Ian Collins. I'm definitely not the older British guy, so there's only two big Ian Collins right
But I was
now.
gonna say that's the two that came up when I looked.
Yeah. I'm not that Ian Collins.
Maybe you'll get to work with him at some point.
Maybe, you know, I think he's yeah, maybe.
He's up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ian, thank you. This has been terrific. I knew it would be.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't wait to get a chance to talk with you. But you got to come back.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to. That sounds great. Let's make it a deal.
Deal. All right. Hold on one second. Ian Collins, he's Tristan on Snowpiercer, the new season. The last season is out right now. I think this Sunday was the second episode. That's what we talked about. So 8 episodes or so for this season's not enough. That show has been so good, and in my opinion, has gotten better as it's went along. Ian, one of the best actors on the show, in my opinion. I think he's terrific. We talked about a lot of the stuff he has done. I should have mentioned So Help Me Todd. I think he was Herb on that one. Is terrific. Project Blue Book. My stepdaughter is a huge The Magicians fan. Ian was on that. We mentioned Arrow and Colony. He did Beyond, underrated show in my opinion. My wife loved him on Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce, and we mentioned the 100 and Supernatural. He's just a really, really talented actor. So check out Snowpiercer is out now. Thank you guys for tuning in with us again this week. Love to have you here. If you're finding us for the first time, our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. It's free. Really helps us out. You can find today we put out episode 818. You can find all of those audio and video on our website, meistercon.com. So definitely check us out there. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're covering a convention, going on location, anything we have going on will be on the website, meistercon.com. So please check us out there. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.